Hello everyone, welcome back. Today on the channel we're going to talk about bands that you need to hear. I love doing videos like this. I love talking about new bands and new artists and new music. And hopefully by the end of the video you have a new favorite band. Be Well is a relatively new band in the scene. They feature members of Bane, Battery, Fairweather, and Darkest Hour. They just released their new EP, Hello Sun, and I love it. The best way to describe Be Well is melodic hardcore, but there's also some more pop-punky moments on this EP. Anthemic choruses, deeply personal lyrics, and everything the band does is filled with intensity. I did want to focus on the lyrics just a little bit. The lyrics are one of the big standouts for me, especially on the new EP, Hello Sun. They dive into some deeply personal issues, depression being one of them, and lyrics have always been an important part of music, obviously, but the scene here specifically. And I think that's, mostly because it's always comforting to know that someone has gone through or is going through some of the same things that you might be going through or stuff that you're dealing with at the time. There's also hope on this record. There is light shining through a lot of the darkness that is on this album. One of my favorite lyrics, I want to get better, I want to change. Singer Brian McTernan talked about this in an interview with New Noise. Be Well exists in this world as a positive thing, which makes me happy. I think we've always had a little bit of that juxtaposition. The lyrics are really heavy, but it's also saying things out loud that are pretty universally felt. That doesn't need to be a negative. It was a positive for me to be able to have the community that could hear that, see it, and see me. I feel like, in many ways, for the first time as myself, rather than the person I tried to be for so long. Here are some of the lyrics that stood out to me on Hello Sun. From Treadless, help me find myself. I've spent so long wishing that I was someone else. I've waited to get better every day since I was a kid. It's still so sad, isn't it, that I never did. I never told my dad that I wished I was dead, just one of those talks that we never had, so I just laid awake, haunted, afraid, praying for help that never came. From Only One Wish, it's not fair to make you my reason to live. I should have gotten help, and I never did. I am left with only one wish. It's that you won't grow up and feel like this. From In the Shadow of Who You Thought I Was, depression is haunting and I'm not okay. Everything is going to be alright is just the thing people that don't know say. I'm lost and worried and I feel afraid of all the things that are inside my head that I have been far too ashamed to say, but I want to get better. I want to change. Those are just some of the lyrics from Hello Sun. I highly recommend pulling up the lyrics and having a read along while listening to the album. With the Punches are back with their new EP, Discontent, the band's first new music since 2012. With the Punches made their mark during the 2010s and that pop-punk revival, their most popular song being Burned at Both Ends. That was definitely one of the first songs I heard from the band, right up there with Dead Weight and No Blood, No Foul. Honestly, I never thought we would get new With the Punches. Out of all the bands from that 2010 scene that are broken up, I really didn't see a lot of people online craving for a With the Punches reunion. And I hope that doesn't come off as mean or anything, but I just didn't really see it. And honestly, I never thought we would get new music from the band, but I'm very happy to say that the band's new EP, Discontent, is great. The alternative scene can be, let's say, picky when it comes to judging new music, but everything I've seen online about the reaction to the band reuniting and their new EP has been overwhelmingly positive. I love the new EP. It's catchy, anthemic, bright, in-your-face pop punk. What more could you want? Some of my favorites are Stoneham Blues, Almost Everything, and Path Dependent. Double Gainer is the newest band on my list. They just released their debut album, Such Is Life. The band has been described as having a Latterman type sound, and I can definitely hear that. I would also say it's a little bit more raw, especially with how the singer uses their voice, a little bit more muffled, a little bit more rough. Anthemic is also another way that I would describe the band's sound. Anthemic punk rock with just a pinch of emo thrown in. Songs like Sleeping on the Couch, Fine, Go, and Meeting in the Middle really showcase that, as well as a song like Maybe Someday, which is the song that initially made me a fan of the band. Tiny Stills have been releasing music since 2014, but recently they've become one of my favorite bands. I love the band's new song, Bury the Hatchet. It immediately gets stuck in your head. It's so catchy. I've had it on repeat since I heard it. Tiny Stills, to me, remind me of a more pop-punk Jeff Rosenstock. I believe Jeff Rosenstock really popularized the self-loathing, honest, direct kind of vibe in lyrics, especially that we see in the modern scene. And Tiny Stills really perfectly mix the holy trinity of punk rock, pop-punk, and the emo sound. Songs like Craigslist Bed and Everything Is Going Great, I think, are good examples of that, and also The Sad Year That Katy Perry Saved My Life, which, besides being a great song, is also a phenomenal song title. Tiny Stills have a lot of music, and I can't wait to dive into all of it. The band is currently working on a new album, and I can't wait to hear it. Weatherhorn are a super interesting band because they almost cover the entire landscape of sounds within the scene. Some of the band's songs sound like Boys Night Out, some of them sound like something corporate, and the opening of Last Rites sounds like Strike Anywhere to me. Now, all those bands are great, but if you're getting into the band for the first time, I would definitely say they lean a little bit more pop-punk. The band released their album Postcards last year. Some of my favorites are Last Rites and Head in Hands. What did you think about all the bands I talked about? Please let me know down in the comments. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell all your friends. Follow me on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching.